So it looks like the Nintendo Switch 2 is obviously leaked. We saw the images for Targets, Walmarts, and other stores, and we knew this was going to happen. People were going to get it early. So there is a thing though, you can't use the system because it requires a day one patch, which is unfortunate for like basically the system won't work at all until you go online to register the system. That kind of stinks. I mean, I get the reason why they did this because they don't want people getting it early. I don't know. I just feel like the Xbox is like this. The new PlayStations are like this. The new PlayStation 5s. The launched PS5 was not like this. But having to do that online check-in, basically just like, I don't know. What if you get a system that's never been turned on before and you want to play it, but it can't go online because the servers are off? Basically, the system's a brick, and like I'm sure a hacker would figure it out by that point, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so we got some cool information. Let's check this out. All right, over here on X, we have this first little tidbit of information. This comes from Centro Leaks. Just click on this right here. We have different cart versions for the Nintendo Switch 2. He says LB equals cards only work on the Switch 2. So this little thing right here, so like Mario Kart, Donkey Kong Bonanza, they will not load up or work on the Nintendo Switch, but they're Switch 2 only. And then the next thing says LP are game key cards only. If you take a good look here, LP, I'll have this little logo right here. So if you're a little curious and you're buying used games, you're like, is that a key card or no? Even though it has the key here. Nintendo's doing really good with labeling things this generation. I mean, you saw the covers of the Switch 2 games. They want to make sure it's cut and dry. They do not want a repeat of the Wii U scenario because everybody's like, isn't that the tablet for the Wii? No. And then the last one is LN, is cards work both on Switch 1 and Switch 2. And I'll have this little LN label here. So if you're confused at all what will work on your Nintendo Switch 1 or your Nintendo Switch 2, or if it's just a key card, these little labels right here are the indicators. LB, Switch 2 only, LP, key card, and LN it works on both. So that's really cool. Okay. Now, down below a little further, and if we go to Nintendo Prime's page here, he has a ton of pictures of the Nintendo Switch, basically an early unboxing. So let's look at these real quick. Hopefully my channel doesn't get destroyed for this. So they're showing the top of the system here. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's not a video, it's just pictures. Let's go to the next one. Got it with its kickstand. And the system, like, obviously doesn't work currently. Getting a really good look at the dock. The dock is massive compared to the old Switch dock because the system's much bigger. And it has a fan and everything, so man, that's huge. I kind of want to get a couple docks so I can put them around the house. Oh, wow. Well, it looks like they got it to turn on. And there's the Steam Deck back there. You probably just can't do anything or play any games until you get that day one patch. So that's pretty cool. Then we got the Joy-Cons. They look pretty nice. I was kind of hoping they'd go for a more ergonomic feel. I mean, I won't know until I get it in my hands, but I hate the Joy-Cons. They're too small. When you're playing in handheld mode, I always feel like I was going to drop it because they're, you don't feel like you have a good grip on the thing. I ended up buying, oh crap, my Switch is across the room. And I ended up buying those Hori game pads on the sides. So it's like huge meaty controllers. And I haven't had any Joy-Con drift, so, and it makes a lot of the games so much easier to play, especially in handheld mode. Like, it's a joy to play now. All right, and then we got the Switch 2 in the dock. Yeah, that thing's pretty massive. Man, I can't wait to get this thing because I've been playing a lot of the Switch 1 recently, ever since Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition came out. And once we realized what the Switch 2 was, and it's not some underpowered turd like I thought it was going to be, it's actually a pretty powerful console, I was right back on board. Like, I'm hyped, and I got a pre-order and everything. Ooh, we got a good look at the back half of the Nintendo Switch. And I'm guessing this pops open to where you can put in all the cords and everything, so that's pretty cool. We got the USB right here. This is a much better dock. Remember, it looks like he's holding, is that the bottom? Yeah, that's the bottom of the Nintendo Switch. That's pretty cool. Look at all, man, look at all the air vents they have for this thing. This thing is probably gonna get really warm. Like the Steam Deck gets red hot for me, especially on games that are super demanding. Even on low settings, like, what was it, WWE 2K24 when I played it, would kill the battery and heat up the system, even on low settings. So, but that's probably a game issue. Now, what is this? Is that where the cord thing goes? Huh. Or is that the magnet section? You got this button here, SLR. And we got the the cast button, the plus button. All right, the blue side. I like how they, instead of doing the whole Joy-Con a color, I kind of like doing it on the inside better, because then it makes the whole system overall just look a lot smoother and sleeker. Even though they had the gray version of it last time. Nice. Then the back half. Wow, you got a lot of pictures here. Cool. All right, and that looks like it's about it for that. Oh, and one more thing before we end the video. They have a compatibility list for all the games that are not compatible or have startup issues on the Nintendo Switch 2. So Switch 1 games that are not compatible or having issues with startup on the Nintendo Switch 2. This just got updated today. Holy crap, there's a lot in here. I don't know if there's any like major games in here. So let's go through this. Issues being investigated. All right, so Nintendo Switch games with startup issues on Nintendo Switch 2. Let's get right into this. All right, it says A Boy and His Blob, a retro collection. Issues are all being investigated. A Time Traveler's Guide to the Past Delicacies. Abyss Memory Fallen Angel and the Path of Magic. Eternia Noctis. Another Crab's Treasure. Ooh, that's a bummer. That's pretty new. Arcade Archives Assault. Arcade Archives Burger Time. Arcade Archives Chakin Pop. Okay. Arcade Archives Crime City. Arcade Archives Dragon Spirit. Arcade Archives Dragon Saber. Arcade Archives Empire City 1931. Arcade Archives Flipple. Okay. Arcade Archives Dig Dug. Galaxin Gradius 3. Metrocross. New Rally X. Pac-Land. Quicks. Roller Jammer. It looks like all of the Arcade Archive games are having issues starting up on the Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, literally all of them. Okay, and then Assault Suit Linus 2 Saturn Tribute. Astral Flux. Baseball Club. Boot Hill Heroes. Botany Manor. Cats Hidden in Italy. Chronicles of Two Heroes. Amaterasu's Wrath. I think I said that right. Clock Tower Rewind. Crazy Strike Bowling EX. Is that the one with the... It's like really cartoony and you can like get a strike every single time because it's super easy. Dadish 2, Darksiders Genesis, Dead by Daylight, and there's some big games in here. Everdream Valley, Felix the Cat, Fig, Final Fantasy, ooh, that's not good. Flan, Grid Autosport, House Builder. I got I can't even, Shump, whatever the hell that says. In My Shadow, Inferno 2, Gang Beast, Jurassic Park Classic Games Collection. Ooh, limited run games. See, a lot of these I don't think will get a patch. So keep this in mind. A lot of these are going to be compatible. Kill la Kill IF, that definitely probably won't get a patch. Cause Mocrets, Killing Time Resurrected, Laboratory Rat Escape Simulator Pro, Labyrinth of Galleria, The Moon Society, Library of Runia, Little Nightmares Complete Edition. That's a big game. Malignant Survivors, Manticore, Galaxy on Fire, Mega Mall Story 2, Monster Loves You 2, NASCAR Rivals, NBA 2K18. I think we're okay with that. Nico Para Volume 2, Nelly Kutalot, The Foul Fleet, Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition, Nier Automata, The End of Yora Edition. Ooh, Nier Automata doesn't work. That sucks. Knights of Azure 2, Bride of the New Moon. Nobody Saves the World. Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. That sucks because that's an amazing game. OKKO, Let's Play Heroes. Ogneto Hunter. Palia. Ooh, that's a big. Isn't that a big, like, free-to-play game on there? Yeah, that launched on there first. Pineview Drive, Plants vs. Zombies, Battle of the Neighborville, Raiden 2 and Mikado Manix, Remothered, Tormented Fathers, Rhapsody, oh my god, I can't read. Marvel Kingdom Chronicles, Rims Racing, River City Girls Zero, Rocket League. Rocket League doesn't work on the Switch 2. Currently. That'll definitely get patched. Roller Champions, Saviors of Sapphire Wings, Stranger of Sword City Revisited, Senran Kagura Reflections. That won't get patched. It has weird motion controls too. Skulls of the Shogun, Bonafide Edition, Soul Dog TD, South of Circles, South Park Fractured Butthole, Sporticians 24, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. I just bought all these Star Wars games. That sucks. Starina, the Stella Machina EX, Super Neptunia RPG, Teiko no Tasujin, Rhythm Festival, Taito Milestones, The Journey Down Trilogy, The Talus Principle Deluxe Edition, Tokyo Zandu EX. I'm not even going to attempt that one. Fossil World, Tricky Towers, Trip World DX, Trover Saves the Universe, TT Isle of Man, Ride on the Edge 3, Under Night and Birth EX Late, Underknots, Labyrinth of Yomi, V Rally 4, Warface, Warframe. I have a feeling Warframe will get a update because it's got updates for the PS5, the Xbox Series X. It'll obviously, I think it has an update for the Steam Deck even. So that one I'm not worried about. I played it for like 300-400 hours on the Switch, and I ended up transferring my save over to the PlayStation because I got tired of waiting for the Switch 2. So, and it's a one-time transfer, so I guess I'm not playing on the Switch 2. Warp Shift, What the Dub, okay, I've never heard of that game. Where the Bees Make Honey, Wolfenstein 2, the New Colossus. Ooh, that's not good. I feel like Microsoft will patch some of these, or that one at least. WRC 9, the official game, and then YouTube. It just says YouTube. So probably, is there a YouTube app on the Switch? I don't remember if there's a YouTube app on the Switch or not. Anyway, so there is a huge list of games that are having startup issues on the Nintendo Switch 2. Hopefully they get resolved over time. I feel like a lot of these are just going to be like ignored because sales have pretty much halted, but the big ones like Warframe, Rocket League, those will definitely get a patch. I mean, Rocket League's huge and Warframe is still ongoing, so those will definitely get a Switch 2 upgrade for sure. But some of these I'm not sure, man. Like these Arcade Archives, they might re-release it as a Switch 2 game rather than patch these ones, so that's a huge bummer. Anyway, are these games some of your favorites? Most of these, except for Warframe, not very big for me. But yeah, sound off the comments below. Thank you for watching, and stay frosty.